So after spending the first decade and a half plus embarrassing NFL defenses over the course of his career, it looks like Aaron Rodgers is going to go out embarrassing the national media. I'm Glenn Naughton with Jet Nation Radio and JetNation.com. Be sure to log into JetNation.com where you can register and become a part of what is the most active Jets message board on the web. Well. They can't take it. Aaron Rodgers has officially broken countless brains. This is ridiculous. Despite the existence of an actual video of Aaron Rodgers and his actual Achilles actually rupturing, there for the world to see on television, on Twitter, you can do a search, take you 2 seconds to find it. You see his Achilles rupture. We have people supposedly educated, most of them professionals with jobs, some of them claiming to be doctors. I don't know if that's true. These people are now saying they're so upset. You know what this is about is that when Aaron Rodgers ruptured the Achilles, a lot of these people laughed at him and they made fun of him and they said he deserved it and they said he had it coming and they said he was an idiot to think he was going to be able to come back this year. Well, not 24 hours after he steps on the practice field, and he's already come a million miles further than any of these idiots said he would. If he doesn't take a snap this year, he outpaced what these morons thought he would do. But the fact that Aaron Rodgers suited up and practiced yesterday has set these people's worlds on fire. He was the butt of the joke. They were supposed to get to laugh at him for missing a full season. And instead, he's on pace to play if he so desires. I hope he doesn't. We talked about this on our show last night. I go back and forth. I want to see him just out of the selfish Jets fan in me, but the logical guy who doesn't want a re-injury, I'm like, just don't play. Whether he plays or not, he's come miles further than anyone thought he would. And I'm seeing people say it was a high ankle sprain. He was never really injured to begin with. The Achilles, he never tore his Achilles. This is all a show. Right, because the New York Jets would have gladly signed off on giving up multiple premium picks, tens of millions of dollars, 6 roster spots, and a vacant offensive coordinator position to someone who didn't deserve it, all to make Aaron Rodgers happy, just to let him sit out the first of what will be at most 3 seasons. That makes complete sense. Just think about that for a second. How crazy would somebody have to be to believe the Jets and their doctors would cover for Rodgers so he could miss time that he doesn't need to miss for an injury that didn't happen, all because he wants to be able to come back and say, I told you so. I can't imagine the level of insanity, like where someone has to be psychologically to believe Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh and Woody Johnson would all say, oh, okay, Aaron, we'll trade for you. And yes, we agree that once you're there, you're going to get your first year off. Maybe you'll play 2-3 games down the stretch as maybe we'll play the Rocky theme and have you come jogging out of the tunnel. And that'll be awesome. That'll all be worth it. Throwing away another season will be worth it. And talk about irony. Emmanuel Acho, whose job is to say dumb things to get attention, is on television saying that Aaron Rodgers is doing this for attention. I mean, it's like the most ironic. It's perfect. It's perfect, really, when you think about it. But you know what's not perfect? The Jets' offense without Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about that for a second, because Nathaniel Hackett met with the media today, and he said it sounds as if, nobody wants Aaron Rodgers back more than Nathaniel Hackett, because until Aaron Rodgers comes back, he's just kind of exposed for being what he is, which is, Paul Hackett Jr. He's not good. His dad wasn't good. He's not good. But Rodgers can make you listen. Aaron Rodgers could pick anyone watching this video right now as an offensive coordinator and make them look good. Like, that's just who he is. But Hackett said that maybe they've been taking too many shots. What? At what? Taking too many shots. How often are we seeing the ball travel more than 15, 20 yards? And that's another thing. Like, we talk about that. We say, deep shots down the field, and you look at deep accuracy, and, they're including like a 19, 20-yard completion. I get that it's beyond the line of scrimmage, but it's not exactly a bomb. You're not exactly airing it out. and letting the quarterback, let it rip. And I get the O line's been terrible, but even at times this year when the offensive line was holding up, we weren't seeing the shots. So I don't know what Hackett's talking about there. He's saying, maybe we need to draw up better plays. Oh, you think so? That's I mean, really, let's be honest. If you execute, most plays are going to work. If everyone does what they're asked to do. But the Jets, look, there's a talent issue. I don't deny that. I'm not saying that Nathaniel Hackett has this all-world group to work with, and how isn't he scoring points? Like, no, this group is terrible. They'd be bottom of the league without him. Once you lost all these O linemen, 3-4 starters at a time, the offense was going to struggle. And we've talked about it all. Corey Davis retiring and Alan Lazard being well below expectations. Lazard was a guy that I thought would be solid, who I thought was overrated. I thought fans were a little too high on him. But I didn't think he would be this bad. I don't think anybody thought he would be this bad. And that's not on Hackett. Hackett can't help it if Lazard isn't being aggressive and attacking the football and waiting for it to come to him and allowing DBs to knock it away, or just flat dropping the ball when it does get to him. Yeah, a lot of issues on this offense, but Hackett, to say that maybe he's taking too many shots, that's as crazy as saying Aaron Rodgers didn't really injure his Achilles. So the Jets are in a tough spot right now. Offensively, I think everyone knows they're not going to score any points the rest of the way. It's going to be embarrassing. Breece Hall is, apparently missed time today with a hamstring. I'm not going to sit here and say Breece Hall didn't have a bad hamstring, but would anyone blame Breece Hall if he said, you know what, I need a week or two away from this stuff because, what are we doing? Like I'm easily one of the most talented backs in the NFL, and he's like a yard and a half a carry is the norm now. 13 carries for 17 yards. Like, what does it even matter if he plays? It doesn't. It's a good way for Izzy Abanikanda to get some run, to be honest. How much he'll be able to do, who knows? But, maybe stop running the ball right into the A-gap on first down like you've been doing all season, Hackett. Actually take some actual shots, not just talk about taking some shots. It's weird. It's weird to sit here and hear him say, maybe we're taking too many shots because they're not taking any. And the offense has been, boring, predictable. Tight ends don't get involved. Nobody gets involved. Listen, how many guys can you get involved when you're going 3 and out constantly? And a lot of that is on the quarterback play, but Hackett doesn't help himself. He puts his quarterbacks in a lot of very obvious 3rd and long type, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, because he loves the early down, run it up the gut, pick up that yard and a half to start the drive, and then we'll go from there. So ugly offense, silly explanations from Nathaniel Hackett, and crazy media people. I say former. I don't know if he still writes for them. I think the first one I saw was Greg Doyle. Used to write for Indy Star. He may still. I don't know. Saying Aaron Rodgers is a liar, and that's how we know he didn't rupture his Achilles. People are nuts, man. Aaron Rodgers has officially broken many, many, many brains, and you have people out here saying some of the most preposterous stuff you'll ever see in your life. Only makes me root harder for the guy. I don't know if those of you who remember, even when he was with the Packers, and there was a newspaper that wrote a fake story about him, saying he had COVID or COVID toes or something like that, which was completely fake. Which Rodgers, I think, contacted the guy, and the guy was like, "Yeah, that wasn't true." Like, he knew it wasn't true. They just lied. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers is back, and he has proven some people wrong. And by back, of course, I mean he's on the practice field. He's not in the huddle, and he may not be, and I hope he isn't. But Aaron Rodgers has exceeded expectations. He's outperformed what everyone said he would be able to do, and they are none too happy about it. So expect a lot more anti-Aaron Rodgers propaganda from the quote-unquote media here in the coming days, weeks, months, and possibly years. Have a good one, Jets fans. That'll do it for this one.